We're going with the full screen for this intro. Sup, YouTube? Marcus, aka Apostle here. Today we are doing another Spellbreak gameplay. It's a decently high kill gameplay with some exciting stuff that goes on, but that's not really the focus of it. I think I get 12 kills on Toxic, but pretty solid. But what is really the focus is I talk about kind of my opinion on where the game is and where I think how I'm feeling about the launch of the game. It's kind of like a deeper conversation. I don't know if you guys knew, but Myth streamed the game yesterday, so 2 days ago once this is posted. And he kind of dumped on it a little bit, but it came from the perspective of one thing. I think he wanted to hate the game going into it. I think he wanted, because he said he didn't really like it a couple weeks back and people kind of roasted him for it, but he was nice enough to give the game another try. And he started playing and he had like certain critiques and he kind of started off on a good foot and seemed to be enjoying it for a little bit. And then a lot of the old players from pre-alpha who have been playing the game for a long time, and a lot of them have actually quit because it's a very different game than it was in pre-alpha, they came into his chat and just kind of started dumping on it. And a lot of the Spellbreak community also dumped on it. It was like really frustrating from my perspective, and it was annoying to see people kind of turn on the game that they really liked. There are some people that don't like the game anymore, which is fine, and they just kind of turn into haters, and anytime the game, anything goes off with the game or the game starts to gain traction, they kind of just come in and try to like shove it down, which I think is a sign of success for the game. Honestly, I think that the game has haters that are still actively coming back to hate it is a sign that it's a solid game. But they kind of turned people into pointing out all of the negatives about the game instead of helping Myth learn. And then on top of that, he got stream sniped the entire time. And it was just a really frustrating thing to watch because I was in chat trying to like help him learn and push him in the right direction. And everybody just kind of seemed to be dumping on the game for some reason, just for the clout, just for the recognition of him agreeing with them. And it was frustrating, but anyways, I'm going to stop taking up your time. I talk about it a little bit more in this video. I also talk about the state of Tempest and kind of my feelings on a personal level about launch towards the end of the gameplay. Yeah, anyways, I hope you guys enjoy. If you do, be sure to like, comment, and subscribe, as well as check out the Twitch stream down in the description below. And if you really feel like supporting, oh, it's not up there on the screen, but usually there's a creator code in the top right. I'll put it somewhere around here. Creator code APOSTLE. If you want to throw that into your Epic Games store when you're buying things, I think you use it as a promo code, or in the Fortnite store, you can use it there. And it basically just gives me some of the profit and helps support me. So if you do that, you go above and beyond with the support. I'd really appreciate it. Anyways, I hope you guys like this talk and gameplay. I think it needs to be addressed that it's kind of a work in progress still. Like, people don't realize the game's a work in progress. Especially, like, it's weird because people who have seen the game change so much seem to think it's not a work in progress the most. It's hard to address, too, from a design standpoint, because, in my opinion, too, them just changing the floatiness of Tempest isn't gonna make it perfect, right? Like, I don't think that's the end all be all. Like, a lot of people are putting the floatiness on Tempest as the end all be all, when I think it can keep the floatiness and they can give it other changes and make it just as fun and useful. Like, I think if they made wall bouncing keep more momentum, because we need more horizontal movement with Tempest, because vertical movement does almost nothing. So if we can keep like momentum horizontally with Tempest, and even keeping the floatiness like that would be nice, right? But it's just like there's not really a benefit to being in the air a lot of the time unless you're hiding in a tree. That's my thoughts on Tempest. My personal opinion is that Stone Draper main is that Tempest are annoying AF. Yeah. Could definitely see that from a Stone Draper main perspective. But I'm anti-Stone Draper, so we're gonna have an issue here, Andy. I don't think I'm so much anti-Stone Shaper as I am anti-Stone Gauntlet. In my opinion, the floatiness is not the solution as just feel bads. Maybe there's another way. I mean, I'm saying like reverting the floatiness I don't think would fix it. I don't think that's the end all be all to making it a good, well-rounded class. Personally, I enjoy Stone Shaper more since 2.2, but that's just me. I think the class is in a decent spot. It's just, I just feel like the Stone Gauntlet is so oppressive for so little. Take Tempest for example. You have to work so hard to make the Wind Gauntlet how am I saying this? You have to work so hard to make use out of that class, right? Like, you have to put in so much effort, whereas Stone, you just kind of have to, like, herd the people into an open area. And it's just like, if you're not looking at them, it's not like an Ice Gauntlet where you have to, like, have really good aim or good mechanics. Stone, you just, like, if you walk up behind somebody and you have Fervor, you're going to do 1,000 damage. But that's also going to change when the talents get changed, right? There's always going to be something that's overpowered. Honestly, I think if we had strong push on wind jumps, it'd be great. Like how being right up against the surface is the strongest push. I want the strongest push range to be extended. I mean, Tacos, you have probably the most... You have the most experience with Tempest, probably out of anybody at this point. At least how Tempest is now. Tempest is a weird class because it's really strong versus new players, but the better your enemy gets, the worse Tempest becomes. Like, against players with good aim, it can just be trash. Yeah, like, I was ready to stop playing the game because I was just struggling so much with Tempest. I don't think Myth got a chance to appreciate the difference in all the battles that go on in the game. Yeah, I think people took that away from him. I think stream snipers and people in chat complaining about the same stuff over and over again. Kind of stole that from him. But I mean, it's like he was in possibly the worst environment to learn the game. He had people basically yelling in his ear that the game's trash. When it's like, he wanted more movement, play Frostborn, right? Like, there could have been ways to lead him in the right direction without being like, her movement's trash. I think like so many people just threw Spellbreak under the bus. It's very frustrating. To be honest, Tempest right now is great, especially with the new squall changes. Downside is the relying on dash and horizontal movement being so limited, which makes relying on dash even more. Yeah, exactly. Like, I don't really know how to play Tempest that well. Ouch. I'll teach you. I mean, it seems fun, but it's just such a high effort class at this point. It feels like I have to put in so much effort to get the same amount of benefit out of the class as I would out of playing Toxic or Frostborn or some other class. Like, I can be just as effective with some other class without having to put in full 200 IQ brain power, you know? But I do need to stop into a stream or two, Tacos. It's the fun of it, though? Yeah. Oh, he's going to the fracture. Oh, wait, that's not a fracture. Wait, what? I missed. Why am I running Wolf Split right now? You done now? And I'm gonna say it right now because people are gonna say it anyways, but I am completely biased with Spellbreak too. I do see flaws in it, but I am more invested in Spellbreak than the majority of other players. Like, basically, my future relies on the success of Spellbreak, right? Like, if I want to be a successful streamer, YouTuber, content creator, Spellbreak, even if it's not like a giant hit, is gonna be a big trampoline for me to help me achieve my goals, right? I've put a year and a half of effort into Spellbreak, so I am biased, but at the same time, I know I'm biased, and I try as much as I can to not be biased, to see things from both sides. I'm not going to sit here and pretend like Spellbreak's a perfect game and that anybody can do anything wrong, or that they can't do anything wrong with it, but it's like, I don't know. I don't even know where I'm going. I had a thought process there, and I saw that guy out of the corner of my eye, and it stole it. Talking about me being biased. Oh, that's what I was gonna say. Was like going into this break, right? Oh no. Oh no, please, come on. Going into this break, I was more excited for my YouTube and Twitch than I was to play the game. Right? Like, I wasn't that excited for the game to go full release for the actual, like, gameplay. I was excited because this is kind of where a lot of my effort is gonna be rewarded, right? But after watching the podcast the other day, it made me really excited for the future of Spellbreak. Oh god, it's a Fortitude gamer. Glad to hear that. What about the podcast did that for you? Just something clicked. I mean, I don't know if you saw my tweet. I saw Ogles had responded to it. But like something, including me, like people were kind of thinking of this as being like the end all be all for the game, right? And it kind of made me realize how in its infancy Spellbreak really is. You know, like, because I've been playing for a year and a half, it's like I've been waiting for this for such a long time, and this has been something that's kind of been... I need to get this Shadow Step, I think. Hang on. Oh no, he has Featherfall. It was kind of like I've been looking forward to release as like that's been in my mind for a long time, and that's been like the goal for me throughout content creation. And just having that mindset of like, okay, this is when the game's really gonna hit its potential, made me feel like, I don't know. I don't know how to explain it. That it was kind of like the end more than the beginning. Does that make sense? I don't know how to say it other than like that. This is kind of an intense fight. I would like to win this. No wind spam. And stone. Please leave me alone. I'm gonna end up losing this. This is the end of the beginning. That's a good way of putting it. Like, I kind of realized that with this launch that it's really setting the game to rocket, right? To skyrocket. This is when it wants to blow up, and it's like that didn't really click with me, you know? That was a fun game. A good toxicologist game with a lot of good talk in it. That'll probably go on YouTube. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Check out the Twitch stream down below. Yeah. I don't know. I'm excited. I'm excited to see where the game goes from a gameplay perspective and not just a content creation perspective. I mean, I guess that, like, it's understandable, right? I mean, I'm sure you guys can see, like, how many... I've posted over 150 YouTube videos. I've grinded this game on Twitch every day for the last over a year and a half, right? It's like I've put in a lot of effort to put myself in a position to catch this wave, right? To blow up with the game. And so all the work that I've been putting in to put myself in that position feels like it's going to come to fruition after these conditions. I just said that so it could rhyme. I don't know. It's just I'm really excited from like a life standpoint. Like I'm 27. I just turned 27 and I'm living with my parents still, and I would just like I feel like I'm excited to start my life, and I feel like the launch of Spellbreak is going to help me do that. Does that make sense?